Welcome to Looking at Legal Stuff. Today we have 3 hearings in a case with a woman who is trying to get a protection order against a man that she says has been stalking and harassing her for the last 7 years. She says she's told him to stop multiple times, but he won't stop messaging her and has sent her more than 100 emails. The man admits that she told him to stop contacting her, but he says he didn't think she actually meant it. He claims that she is his muse and that as a hopeless romantic, he doesn't take no for an answer. He claims that he thought he had implied MUSE services, and he says that she seemed to be into it. He says he knows he took the fantasy too far, but he doesn't want to see her again anyway, so there's no need for a protection order. What does the judge think of his explanations? Let's find out.
And Rachel Berglund.
Here, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
And it looks like we do not have service on Mr. Ianashku, is that right?
So, I was working with somebody to locate him. He determined that Simon is likely at his parents' house in Tennessee, and that the police over there can serve him. And a policeman took the paperwork to the house and gave it to the parents. And last court date, I had asked for a substitute service, and that wasn't really responded to. So Simon, then sent me an email acknowledging that he saw the paperwork and that he can send me emails because he wasn't technically served. It was very what's the word? Like boastful about his ability to continue to contact me because he hasn't been technically served. So I would like to request the substitute service so that I can give the paperwork to his parents and have that count, because I cannot physically locate him myself for certain. Or if there's another way that would be possible to serve him. He does actively use his email. I'm just also not sure what exactly counts, so if it's up to me to do it. If he
So
acknowledged,
do you have, where in Tennessee is he?
so I have his parents' address, and it's Chattanooga, Tennessee.
And it's your understanding that the Chattanooga Police Department actually went to his home and handed his parents the service packet?
Yeah.
And how do you know this?
So there's an email. My dad called them. He's been helping me with this a little bit. My dad called them and asked about it, and they said that they would serve it to him. And
okay, they said they would. How did you find out that they actually went there and gave it to his parents?
the email traffic between them and my dad, and then Simon reached out and said, yeah, a policeman came to my parents' front door and gave this paperwork, and he was all upset about it. He said in the email he said that he didn't live there, but there's nowhere else that we could find that he lived. And I did forward this email that he sent me over to the clerk's office, or yeah, I did forward that email that Simon sent.
Do we have anything recent? I don't see anything.
Is there a
When did
different
you send
email?
that?
Okay, let me check.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't see that we received anything recently, so
I did send an email and it was acknowledged to clerk's PO. Maybe that's clerk's PO at Co Thurston Law US. Is that the wrong email?
Yeah, that's Superior Court. So we're in district court. So we'll give you we'll put in the chat, the correct email would be TC, I think it's TCDC. Is that right? So
Oh,
we'll put it in the chat and send us that email.
I just found it. I did send it to TCDC Civil on Wednesday. I forwarded it on Wednesday.
Okay,
And
we're
it was
looking now.
just, I put the title of the email says case 24000447 proof of continued contact.
Okay. So can you put your email in the chat and just have it sent directly to you?
Yeah, I just sent that.
Okay, so if you'll re-forward that to the address that's in the chat box right now. And I'll take a look at it and then we'll talk further. And Ms. Berglund, so you personally have not had any contact with the Chattanooga Police Department?
Not personally. I am CC'd on the emails between my dad and the police department.
All right, let me just take a look at what I have here, which just came in, so we'll talk in a minute here.
Okay.
All right, I've read Mr. Yanashku's email. So you're in, I assume him being in Tennessee means he's not from Olympia.
I'm not sure where he's from. He lived as my neighbor about 7 years ago. He followed me to California. He's been following me, sometimes physically and sometimes just online. It's been an ongoing thing, so I mean, I'm not sure if I was supposed to go to a different area to report it, having no idea where he lives. I live here, so that's what I did.
Oh, you can proceed here.
Okay.
Okay, so what I don't have here are any of the emails back and forth between your dad and the Chattanooga Police Department where they indicated that they served the packet to Mr. Ianashku. So if you would send or forward those emails to the same address that you just sent this, because obviously I got this.
Okay. I'm looking. So I found the email chain, but the police there didn't respond to my dad's inquiry about it via email. So I would probably need to call my dad and ask him how they let him know, because I don't have that email. And I'm not sure if it was a phone call or do I could also call them and request them to send confirmation that they delivered the papers if that's a better route, because I don't have that email. I have the other emails between or with my
All right.
dad sending them the information, but he initially did call and talk to them.
Yeah, but so your understanding is they actually went to the home and they handed the document to Mr. Ionescu's parents.
Yeah.
And that's a substitute service, as you well know from you're being familiar with that language, and they would record that and make a record of it. So we need a copy of the record that they went to the home and serve them with that package. And if they said anything about whether their son was residing there or not at that point in time. So I do see from his email response that clearly he was aware of this. He, fully indicates that in his response. And I may take action based solely on his email, but I would like to see if we can get a copy of any information from the Chattanooga Police Department before I formalize that.
Okay. Would the best route be to call them and have them email this same email, the TCDC?
Yes.
Okay. And I can do that today.
Yeah.
I'm worried that my email will not be seen by you, since when I emailed before it was I'm not sure who responded, but
Yeah, we'll make sure it gets to me.
okay. Thank
So,
you.
yeah, and so send me anything that you get from Chattanooga Police Department. You should have them copy you as well, so you make sure you get something. So in
Yeah.
case for some reason they don't get it to us, then you have it and you can get it to us.
Okay.
This is not this denied today.
No.
It expires here.
At the end of the day. So I will issue the full order today as long as I am satisfied by the end of the day with the information I have that service has occurred. So if
Okay.
that doesn't happen, then what I'll do is I'll sign a reissue order for the 27th of January, give you a little more time to get information back from Chattanooga.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah. Do you have any questions for me?
I don't think so.
All right. Well, you'll send it into civil, and civil will get back to you. Civil is the department it's in. We'll get back to you and let you know what happens today.
Okay. Thank you.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Appreciate it. Bye.
Rachel Berglund and Simon Ianashku. Ms. Berglund, if you would activate your video, please. Thank you. If you would both raise your right hands for me. Swear the testimony in this case will be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Ianashku, I need to hear from you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right. I'm very familiar with Ms. Berglund's complaints or allegations because we previously had a hearing at which Mr. Ianashku was not present. He has subsequently been served as present today. And what I've seen from the evidence submitted by Ms. Berglund is that she's repeatedly telling Mr. Ianashku to stop contacting her, and every time she does, he uses that as an he then responds and frequently uses his state of mind as a reason for why he's continuing to respond. Mr. Ianashku?
Yes, Your Honor.
You in Tennessee? That's a question. Are you in Tennessee?
Yeah. Yes, I'm in Tennessee. Yes.
Okay. You have, I'm pretty familiar with Ms. Berglund's case, so go ahead.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So first of all, there's a couple of blatantly false accusations here in this report that I'd like to cover. But first, I want to start with an apology. You know, I
No. You're not speaking to her. This is not an opportunity. You are just addressing me on the legal issue of whether you have engaged in harassment. This isn't an opportunity to have any relationship with Ms. Berglund. So speak as to that issue.
right. I didn't think I was harassing her. I thought she welcomed most of my advances. I truly, well, I believed it at the time simply because, well, first of all, let me just say, um, here she claims here that I went on her military base and that I tried to contact her and that I was hanging out in the area. Okay, that is a completely false claim. And I want to make this clear. I never stalked her. Okay, I never went out of my way to hang out where she might be or anything of that nature. Okay, that is a completely false accusation. Okay. Um, Now, here in her testimony, she claims that I um, that she told me repeatedly to stop over and over and over again. Your Honor, that's simply not true. Okay, it's not true. I sent her over 115 emails in total. Okay, she told me to stop one time. Okay, around email number 63. Okay, now she was firm in her response. I will acknowledge that. Okay, but Your Honor, I'm a hopeless romantic. Okay, it's gonna take more than one response to get me to stop.
You were told to stop. You can explain to me why you didn't stop. You said you're a hopeless romantic. Okay, go ahead.
Well, yes, but the reason I didn't stop is for two reasons. First of all, well, okay, I continued sending her emails, but I also continued sending her money. Okay. I sent her financial compensation. And if you read the entire email thread, I don't know, did she submit like all of the emails or just samples from the emails?
How would I know? I have emails here and messages.
Okay. Well, that's fine. The point is that I have no interest in submitting all of it because there's a lot of stuff there that's personal and deeply intimate. There was sort of an implied agreement between us. Okay. She's my muse. Okay. She inspires my work. I've explained this to her over and over and over again. And I, I was sending her money in exchange for the implied muse services. And if you really like read the chain of events that happened, and it's all very well documented in those emails, okay? Miss Berglund accepted. She never. I don't see any complaints about all the money that I sent her, but I can also show from the record. Not only did she accept financial compensation for implied Muse services, she also actively participated in rendering of Muse services by posting photos on a social media account that are consistent with the content described in the emails. Okay. So she was cooperating. Yes, after she told me to stop, she was like actively cooperating. Now, I understand what happened at one point. I went too far and I acknowledge that. Okay. I got a little carried away with fantasies. It's true. Okay. But there was a point after she asked me to stop where she seemed to me to cooperate with the implied agreement that we had entered.
So I'll quote you. I have this old school warrior conquer through persistence, overcome all obstacles mentality when I really, really want something.
Yes, this is true.
Yeah. And you said, I don't know why I keep beating this dead horse. It's time to move on. But, and then you have paragraphs after that where you recognize what you're doing. Then you say, listen, I've been extremely unprofessional. It's very inappropriate, but I will continue my conversation. So, and I'm looking at a prior email which says in all caps, leave me alone. It doesn't say, explain to me why you want to keep talking to me. It says, leave me alone.
Yes, but Your Honor, in the emails that followed, I promised her that she's inspired ideas that are gonna make millions of dollars. And I offered to share my wealth with her, and she seemed like open to that suggestion at one point. Okay. Now, at some point, I got a little carried away. It's true. I'm a little too far. Okay. But the thing is, if you read the email chain, I told her over and over and over and over again. I said, if this bothers you, if any of this is like, you want me to stop, simply reply with the word stop. Okay. That's all she had to do was to say stop. And yes, I kind of pushed her because I was trying to provoke a reaction from her. I was not expecting this. I was expecting her to reply via email with a simple word, right? Because any normal woman, would, she's so stubborn. Like any normal woman would have like just replied via email. She wouldn't have been go to this extent. This is absurd, in my opinion.
Okay. And so I found it interesting that after you found out that being in Tennessee wasn't going to be the preventive measure to keep Ms. Berglund from seeking this order, when the sheriff showed up at your parents' house to serve you, you then responded by once again sending a rather extensive email to Ms. Berglund. After you already knew she'd taken legal action to get you to stop, you decided you needed to weigh in one more time, saying, okay, this will be the last time I do it. The last time I disregard your prior request will be this one. And you said, technically, I haven't done anything wrong because I wasn't served. I wasn't there. So sort of like, nah, 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 nah. Yeah.
Well, I meant what I said. I'm moving on. I have no
All right.
interest
That's a good
in
thing.
seeing her anymore. And I want this matter to come to an end, and I will find a different muse. I will move on. There are plenty of fish in the sea. I just thought I was under the impression that she was receptive to my advances. She was not.
Ms. Berglund, is there anything more you would like to say? You're muted.
Your Honor, everything that I've submitted is true, and I trust your ability to judge the respondent's commentary as being untrue. If you have any specific questions that I haven't already answered, I can answer them, but I trust your ability to judge the situation.
All right. Thank you. Based on the level of persistence, as you using your word, Mr. Ionescu, am I pronouncing your last name correctly?
Yeah, pretty good. You're doing a pretty good job. Yeah.
Honestly, I have a pretty high level of concern. I mean, frankly, I hope your family members are there with you, or they're watching on YouTube and they're finding out things that maybe would cause them the same level of concern and can help you with it. Because it's totally inappropriate, and you place Ms. Berglund in a position where she has a high degree of fear based on your inability to let go when she keeps telling you to stop, and you run right through that barrier. Every time she tells you, you say one last time, and then you continue. Anyway, it's highly concerning. It's behavior that we see in folks that end up in much more egregious situations, much more dangerous situations. And I want to make sure that you understand that, and that the behaviors I'm seeing are precursors and with some regularity to really bad events. So let's cut this one off before it becomes worse. I will grant the request for the order you are to have, and it's me telling you, it's not Ms. Berglund telling you in all caps, it's me telling you you're to have no contact with her whatsoever. You're not to go within 1,000 feet of her home, her workplace. Ms. Berglund, this
May I add
Order
an
will be in
additional
effect for 1 year
commentary?
from today's date. If you want it renewed, you can come back to court and ask for it to be renewed. A copy of the order will be available to each of you in the district court file. There does not need to be service since Mr. Ionescu appeared in person today. All right, thank you both.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Your Honor.
13 months later.
Top of my calendar with Rachel Berglund and Simon Ionescu. There we go. All right. Now this is going to serve essentially as a guide for the rest of you as well. What we're going to do is I'm going to swear both sides in. I'm going to take testimony. And after I'll start with the petitioner, I'll hear from the respondent. I will give the petitioner one last chance to wrap everything up. There are, looks like exhibits. Let me know what's important about these exhibits in your testimony, all right? Okay, would both of you or each of you raise your right hand, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you are about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
I swear, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. You can put your hands down. All right, and one thing I didn't say, but need to make absolutely clear, we only have a few hours this morning for these. Testimony doesn't get to go on for ever and ever. Try to, and it's not always possible, but try to make it brief, but on point. You should anticipate, even though I've reviewed records, you should anticipate that I haven't looked at anything. I need to hear what's important, what happened from you, because you're here. Okay. Rachel Berglund, you will start. What is it that you, this is a motion to renew a protection order. What would you like me to know here?
Your Honor, for context, the respondent had previously to this current protection order had been stalking and harassing me for about 8 years or so, including following me when I moved to different states, then sending me random items in the mail, clearly indicating that he knows where I live, sending emails after I had asked him to not message me ever again or contact me in any way, shape, or form, proceeded to send over 100 emails full of inappropriate, just paragraphs of like super graphic, inappropriate stuff, including images that were AI generated of me being naked, and other pictures of himself. Probably there was a lot that I didn't look at because it was so disturbing and disgusting. So despite me asking to stop contact, there was like considerable harassment, causing me to fear for my safety on a regular basis. Since then, there was the protection order that was granted last year, and the judge last year was said that this is the type of behavior that results in like worse things happening, that I should like, what did he say? He said that the respondents should get help and that this is a serious threat, and that he feared for my safety even, which was really validating because doing this whole process is like really scary and really stressful. So I appreciated that the judge could clearly see that there was something wrong with how I've been treated by the respondent. Since then, when the protection order was granted, or last year when I he was emailed the the request to show up to court, even though he had already received it and seen it, still proceeded to send me another email, like further contacting me, even though he had received notice that he was to not contact me and come to court. So hence violating the temporary protection order that he was given. And I've also received like strange things in the mail. And so I have no way to prove that that was him, but that was something that he had done before. And to me, it feels like if someone's finds ways to like make me question my safety, even though there's a piece of paper that's supposed to protect me, but I can't prove, it causes a lot of anxiety and fear on a regular basis. I would really appreciate if this protection order could be renewed, because I don't think that if it were to go away that the harassment would just stop. I think that it would either amp up or absolutely continue. If it happened for 8 years, it's not just gonna go away.
All right, thank you. Mr. Ionescu, did I say that correctly?
Yeah, it's pretty close. Ionescu.
Ionescu.
Yeah, it's a weird last name.
Okay. Well, I try to get it right. All right.
Okay.
You are the respondent. This is your turn. What would you like me to know?
Yeah. So first of all, I just want to point out I have maintained no contact. I've not violated the order in any way, and that's because I have moved on. And there's no need for renewal because there's no threat. There was actually never a threat to begin with. I mean, there was. I communicated and I over communicated with Ms. Berglund for a long time. Of course, all she heard is, "Oh, he's a psycho." Yeah, look, I could sit here and I could, huff and puff about the exaggerated claims and like the false narratives that she constructed in her report. like they did. I moved to states to be closer to her. I moved to California because my two best friends moved to Silicon Valley, and I was wanting to do a startup. I was working for a startup. Like I didn't move there for her. Okay, like that's absurd. So I mean, she's just exaggerating and making all these claims, but at the same time, I do understand why she is, you know, exaggerating everything that happened between us because I scared her. Okay, I did. I have to own up to that. I mean, last year I tried to apologize, and the judge said I was trying to maintain a relationship with her. I just wanted to say, oh, sorry, but whatever. So look, I will absolutely leave her alone. To be honest with you, look, there was actually some substance abuse involved in some of the emails that I sent her. And the only reason I was sending her all these emails was just because for whatever reason, Your Honor, whatever reason, interacting with her improved my creativity. She has inspired an idea that I think has the potential to have a big impact on the world. And I just, I communicated and over communicated with her on all these things. And I think honestly, on some level, I'm almost glad it happened because it led me to, well, things got much worse before they got better, especially after the video from last year. This trial went viral, and I started getting like all of my social medias were just attacked on the internet. I was attacked as people were in my comments, and I had to turn all my social medias private. And I think some of those were probably coming from people in her camp. I don't know. I don't know who she told or whatever. I mean, she's been in the military, and I suspect she got her group of friends to send me threats. I got all kinds of threatening emails and everything else. So
Just on topic, please.
So my point is
So-
like that alone is like a big deterrent, but also we are 2,000 miles apart. Like I live in Tennessee, she lives in Washington State. Like the distance alone is a natural barrier. And like, look, I would never do anything to harm her. Like the only reason that I was sending her emails is because I thought she liked it. Okay, I thought she liked it. And a very important point that I want to make here, and this is absolutely critical, is that yes, technically she told me to stop. Okay. I sent her about 115 emails in total. Around email 63, she told me to stop. Okay. And I didn't stop, and I should have. Okay. I acknowledge that. But uh, the reason I didn't stop was because I was sending her money. Okay. And if you look at the exhibits, you can see royalties to Miss Berglund. You can see Venmo payments that I sent her at the time. She didn't say anything for over a year and 3 months. She said nothing to me. Okay. She was just quietly accepting the money. And that's where I think um, that plays a really critical factor in this whole misunderstanding is, I thought, well, she's accepting the money. And then she was kind of posting, she unblocked me after that. I sent her money. She unblocked me on social media and started posting pictures, almost like she was
So
cooperating, like she was okay with it.
did I
And
hear you say
that's the
those were
thing.
royalty payments?
Yeah, I called her my muse. I said she inspired my work. I thought she was into it. I didn't realize, it was causing so much fear and anxiety. I don't want her to fear for anything. That wasn't my intention. I thought, we were friends. We were neighbors years ago. We got along. We hung out like all the time. We used to go boating together and everything else. I thought she was like, but look, it doesn't matter. I moved on. I will never contact her again. There's no need for a renewal. This is impacting my personal and professional life. People are really questioning my character for over a misunderstanding. You know, I just
All right.
this is
Is,
too
is
much.
there anything else you would like me to know?
Yeah, well, I mean, okay. So one thing I will say is, I did when I reached my like low point. I went into counseling, and I didn't realize. I thought like my only problem was ADHD, and turns out I might be like she seems to accuse me of like being like a. She seems to think that I'm like a narcissist or like a psychopath or something. Um, but this is like a very common category error for uh, certain symptoms overlap. Turns out, I guess I'm slightly a little bit autistic, a little bit somewhere on the spectrum. And I think that probably played into my ability not to fully, like, how do I say this? I have a hard time kind of picking up on social cues, I guess, sometimes. And I think I totally screwed up. I did not mean to scare her, Your Honor. I did not. Like I actually thought she liked it. I really did. I thought she liked it. I thought she was into it, and I misread the entire situation. And this is just a big misunderstanding. That's all I want to say. Like, yeah.
All right. Thank you. Ms. Berglund. And you don't have to say anything, but if there is anything you want to say to wrap it up, it's your turn again.
Your Honor, I don't think there's really much for me to say other than that me saying do not contact me in any way, shape, or form. If I am contacted, I will be considering it harassment is pretty clear and not that easy to misunderstand. And I believe in your ability to judge the situation, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you. Okay. I am going to reissue this order. And it'll be just a moment while I fill out the paperwork. If, as you indicate, Mr. Ionescu, you do not wish to be contacting her, then this should be a simple year where you just don't have any contact. That makes it really simple.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, the damage is done. If it makes her feel safer, that's fine.